Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining today's Fastcast. 3 ways intelligent security systems improve healthcare facility operations. This is Kevin Wilhelm, Solutions Architect for SIGNET Electronic Systems Inc. Before I get started with today's presentation, I wanted to inform everyone that this Fastcast will have limited time at the end for Q&A. We encourage you to type any questions in during the presentation at any point. To submit questions, please type them into the Q&A panel on the right-hand side of your screen and send your questions to all panelists. I will follow up offline with any submitted questions. Founded in 1974, SIGNET Electronic Systems Inc. designs, installs, and services integrated building solutions. Areas of expertise include healthcare communications, life safety, integrated security, audiovisual, and critical communications. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to a productive webinar. Today's discussion will be broken into the following: basic security solution components, typical challenges related to them, introduction of new intelligent security systems, how these systems will improve your operations, and how these systems will save you time. Today is not about picking a particular solution and saying that it is the best or superior to all others. It's to review some of the changes in the security field and the way that we've taken technology and advanced it in new and exciting directions. If there's one thing that I hope you get out of today, it's that new security solutions are so much more than the traditional components that make them up. They've become intelligent, with an eye towards improving usability, enhancing operations, and making it just altogether better to use and a system that you want to function within on a daily basis. I'm sure that none of this is new, but it's still important to review the basic security solution components. Some of these are traditional, cameras, card readers, but it's important to think about some of the other parts of a security solution. When I say inputs, I mean door contacts, panic alarms, temperature sensors. Other systems beyond the basic camera and card reader that may be tied into your security solution to provide information to your security command center. Outputs can be a tie-in to your paging system, so that when you have different lockdown situations or other emergencies, you have the ability to provide targeted, accurate, real-time information. Servers are straightforward, but they're changing as well. Servers are not just a box that sits in the rack anymore. They're scalable, flexible, and sometimes they're not even on site. They may be hosted in the cloud or on the edge. Software is an important component and one that is too frequently overlooked. A key part of software is keeping it up to date. Not just because manufacturers come out with new feature sets and different user interfaces and new drivers to tie into the latest cameras. It's important to keep your software updated because, just like your computer, software's had vulnerabilities. There's been a lot in the news for a while now about the challenges of cybersecurity and the threat that can happen through hacking. Not just to the system itself that's hacked, but once they hack a system, it's very possible that a hacker may be able to access other systems throughout a network. Keeping your software updated is a great way to give yourself the best chance of having a secure system. A good software provider should roll out frequent updates with a focus on cybersecurity in particular. People is also a very important component of a security solution. If your security team isn't properly trained, focused, and incentivized to use a security solution, it doesn't matter how good it is. If they're not functioning in it every day, and understanding the processes and ways they should react to the inputs and outputs of that system, then it doesn't matter. It's important to find a solution that meets the type of staff that you have. What I mean by that is, not everyone has a 24-hour-a-day, 365 dedicated technical security staff. Maybe you have one officer who's part-time. Maybe you do have a dedicated IT professional and the other individuals are just security operators who are watching the video. Picking the system that's the right level of complexity and size for your operation is important, and especially understanding the people you're going to have using it. When evaluating your current security solution and thinking about ways you can improve it, it's important to think about how the system is most frequently used. When I'm having conversations with clients, the three ways I really look at a security solution being used is in real time for observation, to quickly respond to incidents, and then forensically for review. When I say real-time observation, I mean they're watching cameras in real time. A great example would be a casino. They're looking at all these cameras, they're watching the tables, they're watching each individual hand in real time and trying to gain accurate information from the cameras. When I say to quickly respond to events, it may be much more of a hospital situation where you have a number of cameras, perhaps too many cameras for one individual to watch, but you have a number of cameras in a security command center, and you have a security officer sitting at the desk waiting for alarm conditions or requests for support from a certain unit. At that point, they'll pull up appropriate cameras and then direct security staff to that particular area. Forensically may be for smaller healthcare facility operations where there's not a full-time security operations center. You're reviewing video based on incidents and specific requests after the incident has occurred. Those are really the three different system use cases that I see most frequently. And when building a solution, I try to tailor it to each of those three solutions. An issue I see frequently is that systems expand too quickly. A system will start off with 32 cameras, and suddenly additional requests come in. All of a sudden you're adding a camera in this hallway, and that hallway, and this corner of the parking lot. Because an incident occurred and there wasn't coverage. So the expansion happens quickly, and it can become tough to create an information flow for all that expansion. I see a lot of the times that you have a security command center, or you have someone reviewing forensic video, and it becomes tough to really build a case and understand what's going on because there's just so many cameras. I had a conversation, and the healthcare facilities manager mentioned to me he's had issues hiring security staff because their system is older, tough to use, and there were so many cameras that to try to understand what was going on and direct security staff was almost impossible for new hires. It took them months of training just to get them acclimated to their system. It's very easy to add a couple hundred cameras, to add 12 screens in your security operations center. That doesn't mean that that's the right thing to do necessarily. It has to work together with usability and how people are going to be able to respond to incidents or review video efficiently and effectively. If you're getting a lot of requests to review video and spending lots of your time doing it, it's not an efficient use of your security solution. Related to that is the constant bombardment I see sometimes of alarm conditions. Too many door contacts, not set up properly, too many panics, people not understanding when to use them. I see situations where all these alarm conditions are just coming in and they're scrolling on the screen. And I'll ask the security professional, are you responding to those or are you viewing them? And they'll say, no, we just get those all day and they just sort of come in. We don't really look at them too much. We're not really understanding what they're doing. The point of an integrated solution and tying these systems together is to improve accuracy and enhance the ability to respond to an incident. If people are becoming numb to the alarm conditions, especially nuisance alarms, where they're not programmed correctly, like a door prop alarm that doesn't have a long enough time before it goes into alarm, and it's a door that frequently individuals with wheelchairs are going out of, for example, it reduces the overall effectiveness of the whole system. It's the same with going through video and the number of requests that can come through. If your cameras are not properly labeled and organized in a way that's logical, to try to build a case is very, very tough. You may not be able to build a case in a timely manner, or you may miss video on a camera that shows an important part of the story. Understanding how the cameras tie together, how the system ties together, how your alarms tie together is important for your operational effectiveness and how you build a case as a security professional. I've talked a little bit about the basic security solution components and some of the challenges that I see security solution operators having today with them. Intelligent security systems are designed to improve these. First off, I'd like to start by talking about some of the intelligent security system components that I've seen really improve on existing systems. First one is the software, having advanced video management. What I mean by that is a security solution software should be scalable, flexible. Security professionals are expected to work from their cars, remotely, and in the field as incidents occurred. If your security solution doesn't work that way or doesn't allow that scalability, it's really missing out. Same idea if you have a large incident and need public safety support or some other third party to come on site. Your solutions should have a way to provide them access that also keeps your system secure and tight, but allows them to react in a way that has real actionable information. You've seen incidents before where there have been active shooters, and when police responds, they're unable to get good information because the security solution on site is not designed or doesn't have the idea that public safety could come in and need to have an understanding of the facility to react. Video analytics is something that's been around for a while, but I've seen great improvements in the accuracy and scalability of it. Video analytics can now run on the edge. What I mean by that is you can run on the camera. You don't need a dedicated server running an expensive piece of software, but the camera itself can better understand its environment and then make decisions and provide alarm conditions based on that. So you can have a situation where you use a line crossing analytic. A line crossing analytic is a virtual fence that detects anyone moving in a way that it should not across it. So if you had a loading dock and wanted to know if anyone was entering a loading dock after hours, you can use a camera, draw a line using the line crossing analytic, and then anyone who crosses that line would set off an alarm in the security command center, and security could respond appropriately. Another one would be unusual motion detection. So you have a one-way street. Vehicles go down in every way in a certain direction, but suddenly someone either makes a wrong turn or is attempting to infiltrate a facility. The camera will detect that a vehicle is moving in a way it normally does not, and will set off an alarm. And once again, the security command center, in real time, and allows security to respond appropriately. Facial recognition software is newer and does have some scalability issues. But if you have a site that has a singular entrance or a small number of entrances, facial recognition software can be a very powerful way to identify individuals who may be of high value or high priority to security personnel. A less threatening example would be a casino that uses it to identify high rollers or other VIP personnel. They walk in, their face is compared to a list, and it pops up in security that this person is very important and someone should go out and meet them appropriately. Obviously, the same idea could be applied to an individual who is lobbied threats or could otherwise be considered dangerous. I mentioned earlier that information overload and too many alarms can be a challenge of a security solution. I still believe that it's important to integrate multiple systems together, but in a way that alarm conditions are qualified by each other. A door contact, a door prop alarm should be programmed correctly, and it should call up a camera in a way that a security professional is not spending large amounts of time sorting through video or trying to find the right camera to respond to an alarm, but can quickly, in a matter of seconds, have a pop-up on their screen and quickly validate that it's a condition that they should respond to or can simply acknowledge and move on. Another example would be utilizing thermal or more industrial cameras. So in a lot of healthcare facilities, you obviously can't do recording because of privacy concerns. In those situations, it may make sense to utilize a thermal sensor or a radar sensor. Something else that doesn't pull visual information from someone, but is still able to determine that an individual is in the space, and if they are, how long they've potentially been in it. An analytic I've seen lately that is quite effective is one that looks at a person on a bed and builds a virtual box around them. So it can determine, okay, this is a person's heat signature. If the heat signature moves out of this space in a certain way, this person has possibly fallen out of bed or otherwise should be reacted to. By utilizing the security solution, it ties all this information together in ways that it's designed to. It's not a camera tied to a healthcare option that was made in someone's basement. It's a high-end security solution with a camera designed for constant operation. Open standards and customization are a part of that. When picking a software, it's important to think about what you might want to tie it into in the future and what options that manufacturer provides you. SDKs and open APIs are great, especially SDKs, since they potentially allow you to customize your software to tie into the systems that you have on site and that you've invested in. One that I've seen a lot lately is BACnet protocol. BACnet is a protocol frequently used in the BMS and building space. It's also used by systems like fire alarm panels. BACnet can be tied into a security solution and allowing for a single powerful interface to view all these different conditions. Now, that can lead to some information overload potentially, but if these are systems you're monitoring currently through multiple computers or multiple softwares, tying them in together can improve your operation greatly. And the open standards and customization part is important as well because it gives you that somewhat future-proof nature of it. If you make a large investment in a HR software, it's very important to you that your access control system ties into it. Maybe it's Active Directory, maybe it's something else, but having a high-end security software solution that offers some of those integrations gives you a future-proof aspect. Security updates and support are a part of that as well. Many systems offer update plans that include consultations from the manufacturer. So the manufacturer has a designated amount of time that you're allowed to call them and review what some of your challenges are, what some of the features you'd like to see, or ways you can potentially better set up your system for operations. Having that connection from yourself to your manufacturer and to your integration partner are important. The integration partner is a big part of this. You're buying your software, you're buying your cameras from someone. It's important that the person you're buying them from understands what your goals are and can potentially work with you on customization and integration of these multiple systems. Where I've seen some of the greatest advances in security solutions is on the forensic side. It's clear that there's an issue in how video is reviewed. It's not realistic to have someone sitting there going through hours and hours of video. When you have a large system, you probably have a large number of incidents, probably a large number of cameras, and a large number of requests to review video. The amount of time that people are spending doing this is substantial. And you think about the return on investment. If you can take that time and cut it in half, or a third, or even a quarter potentially. And there's a couple different ways that new intelligent security solutions can help you do this. One thing is focusing on the user experience when evaluating a software. It's not just about feature set. Obviously, feature set is important, but it's important to understand how to use those features. How many clicks does it take for me to open up a camera, view the settings, and change the settings? How many clicks does it take for me to go to a camera, review video, and then potentially move on to another camera nearby, and then export it? If these tasks are difficult with your current security solution, then you should be evaluating newer, better options or investing in an upgrade to the current software revision you have now. And the thing about this is that when you're talking about saving time, you're talking about a return on investment. If you think about it, an hour a day across a 365-day year, it adds up to a decent amount of money. If you figure your value is $100 an hour, including burden and overhead, and then what you could be doing with that time otherwise, 365 times 100 is a decent amount of budget to spend on potentially upgrading your user experience. And I think you'll find that people will be much happier as a result as well. On the forensic side, there are advanced solutions that allow you to review large quantities of video in a short period of time, allow you to narrow down your selections. So I've seen options where you can look for people in certain color shirts, certain types of vehicles like SUV versus sedan, and then the color of that vehicle as well. And then we'll show you hours of video in a matter of seconds based on your parameters. Some of these can be more expensive and require large server processors, but the great part about them is they can run in the background. So you set the parameters and go back to your daily tasks, go back, review the video, and suddenly instead of sitting at a computer and reviewing hours of video over 30 minutes, the computer has done all the work for you and presents these hours of video in a matter of seconds. It's really powerful investigative tools that really save you a lot of time. And once again, that time is money, that time is productivity, and that time is customer satisfaction. You can also take some of those systems and have the cameras tied together. One of the challenges I see is people trying to build investigations and figure out how someone moved within a facility, and they can't figure out, okay, so he came in door 1, what hallway is connected to door 1, and then he turned left in the hallway. These more advanced solutions start to associate cameras with each other. They learn the environment. They learn how people move throughout a space. And as a result, when you're building an investigation, will give you suggestions. So you're watching the video of a person moving through in a large screen, and maybe in ones nearby, it starts to suggest, hey, this might be where you want to look next. And when you click on that and he moves into the space next, it automatically adds that to the timeline. So you're not cutting and pasting and trimming and doing all this video editing work to build an investigation. The software is being intelligent about how people move through a space and supporting you to build that investigation and track someone and understand what occurred. Part of this is AI, but part of this is collaborative as well. It's about having an environment where it doesn't have to just be the security professional providing information for an investigation. Some solutions allow you to import video from other video solutions and allow HR to upload documents all in a single interface that doesn't allow HR or another personnel to tie into your security solution, but allows everyone to work together to build a case, to understand what happened, and to do a better job in the future. An example would be you have a number of offsite locations. So you're working at the main facility and have a security solution there. And the offsite has a smaller one either due to cost or you inherited the facility. Some investigative collaboration tools will allow you to take that video from that site and work with it in an interface you're familiar with, they're familiar with, and then once again, someone from HR or another department could view and understand. AI is great in advancing because once again, it's about saving time. And AI is all about understanding how you're using a software and being predictive and intelligent, providing you suggestions. Okay, so this alarm condition has occurred. Do you want to do 1, 2, or 3? These current cameras are experiencing most activity. Which do you want on your screen? I have recommendations as a software, but certainly you're the professional. Once again, it's about making things easier, about having to do less thinking on your feet, reducing errors, and saving time in particular. And all these things are going to improve the accuracy, effectiveness, and usability of your systems. I've talked about a lot of different solutions today. A key thing is understanding your current security operations. It's not possible to do all these upgrades at one time or to enhance your system in every way and see a real change. It's important to really focus on how your system is being used and then tailoring the right solution based on that need. A key part of that is having the right integration partner and having the right software partner. It's important to have honest conversations with these people and explain to them what your long-term goals are, what your needs are, what your challenges, and honestly what your budget is as well. A lot of people are trying to upgrade their system and doing a little bit here, a little bit there. Having a multi-year upgrade plan with a specific goal in mind of how you want to improve, what your biggest need is, Whether it's that your cameras aren't providing you accurate enough information, whether it's that your security personnel aren't dispatching or understanding appropriately what's going on, if it's that you're spending too much time reviewing video. Each one has a variety of different ways it can be rectified and improved with more intelligent security solutions. But if you're not explaining that to your partners, explaining that to even your staff and having conversations with them, it doesn't matter. You need to have a long-term vision, and you should be partnering with companies that support and believe in your long-term vision. It's all about a partnership and building a solution that's going to be smarter, more effective, more usable, and most importantly, safer. Right? That's the key here, is that all of this is designed to have a solution that's better and most importantly improves the safety and trust of individuals in a healthcare facility. If they don't believe that your cameras are effective or believe that security will respond to that panic alarm, it's dangerous and it makes them more hesitant and less happy in their workplace. Once again, thank you for joining me today. My name is Kevin Wilhelm. I'm a solutions architect with SIGNET Electronic Systems, Inc. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, send me an email offline, or once again, there's the Q&A box in your viewing. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.